Hello folks, welcome to the canal channel Jose. Today we're going to give you an idea how to replace the door handle on the driver's side of the 91 to 94 Toyota Tercel. And usually these plastics, these knobs, they're not made out of metal. So what happens with time, they start becoming brittle and eventually they're going to break, just like what happened to ours. So we got a brand new door handle right here that we're going to swap him out because this one is about 30 years old. So we're going to start with a fresh one. And this doorknob also fits the 92 to 94 Toyota Paseo, but the procedure just changes slightly. But this procedure is going to be, or give you an idea how to do it on a 91 to 94 Toyota Tercel driver's side. And with that said, let's get started. So now before we start taking this door apart, what we want to make sure is that we want to show you that this is broken and that the handle that you got is compatible, is the same handle as the one that the car has. So you want to make sure that what's on the package is, before you open that package, that that door knob or door handle fits or is the same design. So now that we know that is what we need, we can start taking this apart so that way we can start getting ready to put the new one in. So the job has to be done from the inside, and to get to it, we're gonna have to remove 1, 2, 3 Phillips screws. There's 2 big ones and a little one right about this area, and we're gonna have to remove a clip to remove this knob, and then we can remove the panel away from the door so we can get access to where about the handle hardware is on this area. But to start, we got to take these off, and we're going to start with this knob because it's the hardest one to get, and we're going to show you what we mean by that. There's a clip here that releases this knob. To remove this knob, what we're going to have to use is a thin and small flathead screwdriver so we can pop the clip from behind, and then we can release this knob. And we're going to show you what we mean by that because it's really hard to get the angle right now because it's so close to the panel. So we pop it, and then we're going to show you what you're looking for. So now what we have to use is these little hooks. So these tools actually work better because we can get it back there and pull the pin or the clip that is this one right here. So we're gonna pull the handle, and then this disc washer is plastic, so it keeps the friction between the panel and the knob, so the handle. So what we're gonna show you is how that clip is on this, and then these tools are really handy. So here it is how the clip falls in, and that's how it holds the knob into this groove and it doesn't let it slide out. So what you're doing is, what you're trying to take it out and you're pulling it out like that, so these 2 legs come out of here so that can slide out of these gears. So when you want to put them in, slide them in, and then it falls in, and you don't want to lose that clip because that clip is what holds that knob into this handle into this door, and the control of the regulator of the window. So once you get that off, now you can continue with the process. So now that we have removed the window regulator handle, we have to remove this handle and this screw right here. So there's 2 big Phillips screws here, and then there's 1 Phillips screw here. So we take those 3 off. So these are the 2 screws, Phillips screws, that we took off from the handle that goes right here. So once this is the back piece of it, so once you take that away, we continue with this one. So now that you have taken that screw off, you don't want to pull this handle off just straight out. What you have to do is you slide it forward. There's the engine compartment, and then you can pull away from it, and now it comes out. There's couple legs in the back that if you just pull it straight out, it won't come out, and you're gonna break it off. So you push it forward and then it comes out. Now that we have taken every single screw off, what we have is left to do is we have to pull this panel away slowly. And there's clips. If you look through the side, there's clips like this one right here, so you gotta be careful. There's a special tools that you can slide right between and pry it and split them. We're gonna be using a flathead screwdriver because we done this in the past. Just be careful. Another thing is that if your car has the speakers that sit right on top of this, you want to take off the speaker first, and then you can start removing the door panel. We forgot about, we have speakers bigger than the door panel, so we take the speaker off. So now that we have our door panel off completely, what we have to do is we gotta get this through. So what we do is that the door handle from the inside, we just tilt it a little bit and pass it through, and then we can get our cover off of the door now. So this is the door cover. This is the inside, and this is the back piece that goes against the door. And as you can see, this is the clips that go and clip into the door frame. So there's all the way around. And you want to make sure that you be careful because this is like cardboard and piece of compressed wood. So if you break it, you're going to have a really bad door cover. So be careful when you're removing this. So now that we have removed the door panel, what we're going to be working is, our area is going to be in this section. So what we have to do is, if the glass is down, we're going to have to raise it. So we put our window knob, and then we raise the window glass so we can peel this plastic off and work on this area, because the glass is going to be on our way. So another thing is that when you're doing this job, you don't want to rip this plastic. You want to unglue it, peel it off, and then you can, that way when you're done, you can peel it, you put it back on, and then you can set it. We work on this area in the past because the glass came off of the rail. That's why we have tape to keep, this plastic keeps the dust from coming in, so or the water from splashing the door cover, so it doesn't ruin the door cover. So we're gonna peel it off and then get to the bolts, and we'll show you about where the bolts are in this area. So now that we have exposed this area, we have this hole and this other hole where we can put our socket, 10mm socket with an extension, so we can get to that 10mm bolt and this other 10mm bolt right here. And then we can take that rod off by removing that plastic and this other plastic. So we take those bolts off first, and then we can start working with these plastics. So we remove those rods, the locking and the handle on the opening on the outside. We can extract our handle. So this is the new handle, and this is it comes with a clip, with a brand new clip for the opening point for the handle. So we just gotta worry about not breaking the other one, the pink one. And then this is there where the 10mm bolt goes in, and the other 10mm bolt goes in right here. So then we just remove the other one, and be careful because these can break because they're plastic, not because it's new it won't break. So we take the other one out, so we can start putting this in. So we have disconnected the rods, we unbolted it, disconnected the rod. So now to take this handle off, what you do is you push it towards the front a little bit and then tilt it up, and then push it against towards the front, and then you want to clear this out, and then you roll it carefully. So this part comes out at the end. So because you got to clear this hole, so you roll it, tilt it, and then push it back. And so you get an idea what I'm doing to bring it out. So you don't want to force it because you might bend the sheet metal or break the handle. So that's how you do it. And we're going to show you how these come off because it's pretty complicated to do it inside there. we need to transfer the key cylinder to the new one, and for that it's really easy. We just gotta pull this clip away so the cylinder comes out. So we'll show you how to do that. So the new handle comes with a new clip, so we're gonna use the new clip, and what we have to do is we just gotta slide it away from it so we can get the cylinder in, and then we put the clip on. So as you can see, the handle has a slight thicker or bigger groove and a slight smaller, and this is thinner than this other ear, so we just match him and slide him in, and then we put our clip. So now we got our new handle with the key cylinder, so we slide it in, tilted it, and then we start setting it in place. So one thing is that gasket that is here, if it's lifted, you want to make sure that it sits flush and is right on the handle, because if it's popped up, you're gonna have trouble putting it on. So you want to make sure that's on, everything's flush, and then you start putting it on like we were doing it. So now what we do is we put it on. We gotta just set the screws, bolt it, just set them so it's guided, so it doesn't keep popping out of the groove, so we can connect the rods. So you're gonna be having some trouble getting the rods out of these clips. So what it does is that this clip hugs the rod, and at the same time the rod goes through, so it 90s and it hooks into it. So when it goes in, this clips into the same body of the rod, so it keeps it from sliding out. Same thing for the cylinder on the key. So you might have trouble if this one came, the new knob, the new handle came with this new plastic, but the cylinder from the key didn't. So you might be, I'm gonna be honest, you might be breaking that one to take him off, or even this one. But don't worry too much about this one if it comes on your kit. But like I said, these are worn out, as you can see. So they're pretty, it's kind of hard to get the camera in there and show you how I do it with a hand on the way. So it hugs, you get it out of the way, rod is 90, goes in, and then you clip it into the body of the rod, so then it doesn't come out. So as you can see, there's there is the clip, the plastic clip, and there's the other plastic clip. So that one came on the kit, that one didn't. I had extras, so those clips might break, but you're not worried too much about the big one. But the little one, if you don't have extras for the cylinder, you're gonna break that and you're not gonna have any. So the hugs, as you can see, is straight 90s, so when it goes into it, it goes into the clip and it hugs it at the same time. So now what we can do is we can tighten in the 10mm bolt to finish the installation of the new handle. So before we start moving on, we lower our window, and then once we lower our window, we close and open the door to see if the handle actually works fine. Because if there might be something that is not sitting right, we can work on it right now before we start putting everything on. So we verify that. So now that everything worked fine, we just put our plastic back on, and we put everything as neat as we can, and then we put a cover for the door, and we start putting everything back on. So now the door panel has these clips, and then there's a hole in the door. So what you gotta do is you guide it, and then you push into it, or you can just, once you got it kind of line up, you start hitting on it, and then you can start clipping all the clips around the door panel into the door. So now we grab our indoor door knob or handle, and we push it in, and then we guide it and slide it back so it grabs itself into the frame of the door. So you just gotta be careful. You gotta guide the hooks in there, and then push in and then slide back. So now we put the door handle, we put the screw that goes right in there so it holds it from moving back and forth or in and out. So now what we can do is we can put our handle and bolted it down, and remember what you're screwing it into it is plastic, so don't over tighten it because you might strip it. So we put those 2 Phillips screws in. So what I did is that I just put one in and then give it a couple threads in, and then it's loose, so I get the other one and I can see where it's going and I can guide it on the back. That way if I put one and it's all the way tied down, I'm not going to be able to guide the other one. So you just want to guide both of them and then tighten them both. Now I'm gonna put my speaker on and then the window knob so that I finish the installation or the replacement. So now what's left is we just gotta put our window knob handle to raise and lower our window, and for that we just put the plastic piece, and then on the knob we put our clip, we put it on, and then we just slide the knob right in and it's gonna lock itself. And well folks, this was an idea how to replace the door handle on a driver's side on a 91 to 94 Toyota Tercel. This applies for a 92 and 94 Toyota Paseo, but the procedure inside changes a little bit because the way is different, but it's just similar. And this applies also for a 4-door Toyota Tercel from the 91 to 94. The passenger side is the same procedure but just opposite side. So this is just an idea how you can replace these handles in case it breaks. So we got a brand new one, the old one, and one thing we want to say is that for a little flashlight will be very helpful when you're doing this job because you can see what's going on in there. We use a 10mm socket with an extension, and also it's a flathead screwdriver and a little hook pick to get the clip off of the glass handle off so we can pull it off. So with that said, it's not much it's not very difficult, it's just time consuming, and just make sure that you get the right piece. For those folks who are watching our video and haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. If you like our video, give us thumbs up, share it, and we'll see you soon with more videos here en el canal El Chano José.